Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. Today I'm sharing with you what I created and made for Sweet Crafty Girl, her name is Stephanie, but it's Sweet Crafty Girl here on Instagram and on YouTube. And I'm going to share with you what I created for her. And I'm so excited because I worked with Marigold, and as you guys know, I'm super obsessed with Marigold right now. The colors just make me so happy. Okay, so the first thing is this like little wardrobe type thing. It almost looks like, you know, like a closet where you would hang your clothes. And I got the idea from, I believe it's Martha's Creations. She showed a tutorial, not like a tutorial, but like a how-to on her Instagram using the Michaels tags. So I went ahead and used the Michaels tags so it's nice and sturdy to do the sides, and that whole entire box is actually made of the tags. Here's the side view, and then I use this beautiful deck paper, and I use these bows that I got from Joann's. They're buttons. I got them a very long time ago. And then I just kept this side very simple because the other side is going to be like the pretty side. And I went ahead and made little hangers for each of the embellishments. And I did use the gold paper clips. And it's super easy to make the hangers. You just have to like put one side up, bend it straight, and then bend it to the other side. Wow. People literally like racing down the street. So this is one embellishment, and then you flip it over. Here's another one. And then here's this one. These are just 3D sewn hearts. And then you flip it to the other side. And here's another like little ribbon collages. And then here's the other side. So each little hanger I did multi-purpose, like how we do with our clothes. You know, we hang more than one thing. Well, at least that's how I do it. So I put 2 embellishments on each. These I left very simple so she can decorate. So I did all the stitching and filled it with sequins myself so she can go ahead and decorate how she wants. I actually love getting embellishments like that because you can make it your own, but the base work is already done for you. And here's this one. The rosette with the tulle was gifted to me from Lori, who's creating for fun. And then I just layered some ephemera pieces and puffy stickers on top. This one as well, she gifted me this rosette. And I just did some layering on top. So those are my embellishments for this little caddy here. And they fit perfectly in here. There we go. So once again, that's the caddy. And then the next thing I made was this book here. The whole front is like acetate. And then I'm trying to see. I cannot remember. Don't quote me on this, but I did get the inspiration from, I believe it's the Vintage Goose. I think that's where I seen it from. So I did do this flap that comes from the back. And I did mess up because originally it had 2 flaps, so I need to go ahead and cover this up. But I didn't like it with the 2 flaps, so I just did it with one, and it's heavy right here, so it keeps it like closed. It keeps these 2 from opening up. So I figured the one was a lot better than, let's see, okay. So I did go ahead and sew the inside with this fluffy heart tool, and then I had sequins here and sequins on this side. So that is all. And this little guy doesn't want to stay put. There we go. That could hold it for now. And then I decorated and sewed all the little pouches in the front, did stitching, and this came out so cute. And these were added on just recently. And like I said, I love gifting embellishments and receiving embellishments that are not fully decorated, but the base work is totally done for you, because you can go ahead and make what you want. So these were all the little flags that I'm gifting her, and these were inspired by Crafty Kimchi. She has a video on how she did it. I didn't follow her measurements, but I did follow her idea. Basically the measurements are up to you, you know, to your liking, to the size of your scraps. She really didn't have like a rhyme or reason for her size. She basically did it based off the size of her scraps, which is what I did. And then in this next pocket here, I did do some Maggie Holmes flowers. So I have that one there, this one, and this one. Let's put that back. There we go. And in this last pocket up here, I added an acetate with all of the bows that I created. And this bow die is an AliExpress bow die. So that's what I put in this book or pocketbook. And then it stays closed because it's like so heavy here, so it helps it stay closed. And I originally had Velcro on it too, but like I said, I felt like it didn't work the way I wanted it to, so I needed to do that. And then I'll just have to cover this before I pack it up. And then I also need to put my handmade label on everything because I did not do that. Next thing I have is my memory decks card. So here's my memory decks card. It has an acetate on here that I sewed to this background paper, and then I doubled it down here with 110 pound when I stitched at the bottom. And then I also stitched on this whole little reindeer ribbon thing that I made. And I did it very simple. I still have to put my information on the back right here. And then I added this yellow pom-pom trim, which also came from AliExpress. And it's so cute. I don't know about you guys, but my whole process when I do a swap, excuse me, when I do a swap, the first thing I do is make a sequence mix. And I make not just a little bit, I make a whole jar of it, because when I make that mix, as soon as that mix is done, it's almost like, ooh, inspiration just hits me. And I want to make every single thing, or as many things as possible, a shaker as I can. So I literally, that's like the first thing that I do is make my sequence mix. So that way I know I won't get distracted. Like, I'll know that that mix is there and I can add that mix to anything that I do. And you'll see that along the way. Okay. The next things are these gifts that I'm giving her. So I'm giving her the Marigold Puffy stickers, and I'm giving her the Marigold florals. I have to wrap these up. So these are the stickers. And then these are the florals. Okay, next thing I created was a tag flip. And here she is. This first one here is basically a tag that I made from scratch out of acetate, and it's a shaker. And then I added this cute little collage and butterfly die cut and prop these up with foam tape, stitch this book, stitch this background piece, and added this little deer die cut. The deer die cut is from the Heritage die set, I believe. Then I also have like these little fun trims, ribbons, yarn. This yarn right here is so fluffy. So we have that one. And then this next one here is this one. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this one here. And I basically stitched everything on the tag itself because I felt like that gave a fun detail. And then you can prop these up to get dimension. Added this flower here and then stitched this thankful word across it onto the tag, and then added some gold like gemmy enamel dots. Then we have this little tag here with this cute little duck and this pink. These ones are chipboard, so there's already dimension on there, and then gold thread peeking behind it. And this tag, I stitched all around it to make it a shaker. And then after I had already made it a shaker, I was like, what am I going to put on it? And I found this super cute deer. I call her Bambi. This Bambi Deer. And I was like, this is perfect because you really can't use glue on vellum unless you're planning on covering certain pieces because you can see through it. So I just stitched right across it and sewed Bambi right onto the tag, and in turn ended up making two shakers because this stays at the bottom and then this stays at the top, so there's sequins everywhere. Next one here. That's one thing about this ephemera pack, there's a lot of big pieces, and I know that's like kind of like a downer because it's really hard to use the bigger pieces, but when you're making like tag flips and stuff, it really comes in handy. So a lot of these bigger pieces like were right on point so I can make the tag flip. So this tag was part of that. I used this chipboard piece, chipboard owl, and like I said, created my mix beforehand, so I added sequins in the centers of the flowers. And then there's this one here. Hold on. And it's the green tag that came in the ephemera. I stitched right across this blue bow ephemera piece. But before I did, I got some crepe paper and I layered it up, like rolled it to fit the size. And I want to say there is about 7 or 8 layers of crepe paper that I rolled. And then I sewed it right on top and fringed the edges so it can be like super cute and girly. Like it's so dark green and so dark blue that I needed a light color to make it and bring it back to being like super girly. And on the bottom, I just added some hot glue and put my sequins there. So it really is so simple, but it's so cute. On this one, which is part of the ephemera piece, again, this big old tag, I went ahead and did the same thing except with the larger butterflies, 2 vellum butterflies stitched right across, and then stitched this folded banner piece here right onto the tag and added this best friends sticker. This is the last one here. I added one of my folded strips with the ribbon and the little deer, and then I used this tag and added trim to there. This little bow here is from AliExpress, so I added that bow on there just to give it the pop of like that yellowy greenish color that's popping behind it. And that is my tag flip. And I had a lot of fun creating this because I tried a lot of different new techniques that I hadn't thought of. So it was really fun and interesting to do new things. So that's the tag flip. And next I am going to be sharing with you my, what is this? Altered shadow box. Okay, so this is the shadow box. And this is the Tim Holtz one. I have made another one beforehand. I painted it pink. The back is pink. And so I did use a lot of different techniques on this shadow box here. For instance, this little dresser is from Dollar Tree, and I got the idea to use it in the shadow box from Lacey. And on my last shadow box, in order to get things like super propped up, I put tons and tons of foam tape on it. And it was literally wasting like all my foam tape. And I remember Tony, who's Craft Purge on Instagram and YouTube, she was using these little square blocks. And when she hauled them, I have no idea why I bought them. I just bought them because I was like, oh, if Tony said to use them, I need them. And they've been sitting there ever since. And I finally used them. Let me show you the back because the back is not pretty. So to get these all propped up, or to get all these chipboard pieces propped up and sturdy, like super sturdy, I did use these little wooden blocks to keep them upright. So I glued the ephemera piece to it, and then I stood it up and glued it to the actual box. Along with this one here too, this little duckling, this typewriter, this book, this right here. A lot of the pieces are done that way only because it gives it stability, and it's amazing. So first off, we have this little side box, this blue box, and I put her in the blue box because I wanted it to look like she was like swimming in water, and that's why I put the water. And then I added some sequins because I wanted to. And then this middle box, I layered this butterfly in the background, but you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's the yellow paper with the flowers in the back. This one here has the houses in the background, and I added this chipboard piece. This one did have foam tape, not the square. This one says happy little moments, and I added this bow background paper because, well, let's face it, Stephanie loves bows. She loves it so much, so I wanted to incorporate the bows. And I had these frames for like ever, back when Michaels had them in their like wannabe dollar spot. So I cut the little deer out and put them behind there and propped them up, and have this, like if it's on your entry table, because I have an entry table and I have like a big old frame in the middle hanging on the wall. And then you have this super cute like vintage typewriter and a book. And I added a bow, painted this dresser and distressed it with gold. Added this flower here and this flower here, which are from Rosie's Studio. I think it's Mimosa Sunday flowers. And I added this So Very Dear swan up here, almost like if they were pictures that she just bought and left them by the door. And I did this little collage layering piece. What was that? Hold on, there's that glue here. Okay. And then I added some sequins. So that's how it came out, and I really love it. I'm trying to see if you can see it all in frame. So there's the front, the top. And there's the bottom. Okay, sorry you guys for shaking you so much. I want to make sure And the next thing I created was this typewriter. Right here. This is a cut file from, it might be SVG Cuts. I think it's svgcuts.com. So I made this file. And the top opens. And I did put some goodies in there. So in this pocket, or this box, I added this Marigold sticker rolls. And I know she was looking for these pink Heidi Swap bows, and I had an extra pack, so I'm gifting her those. And I'm also gifting her this gold stickles. And that is all that's in here. But this file drove me crazy. It took me like 4 tries. I don't know why I couldn't figure it out, and it really drove me crazy. And then we have these stacked suitcases. This is another thing that I was struggling on. There is a tutorial on this, and I want to say Christian's Crafty Adventures is the one whose tutorial I followed. So the first one, this one here, the little one, was super easy for me to do. And, you know, I stitched across, you know, I went extra, and it was really easy. So in this top one, I made a bunch of sewed strips with either the swan showing or my little Bambi Deer. So I made a bunch of those so she can use on her projects. And then the middle one got a little bit more tough for me. And in this one here, I created bag toppers for her. So I have these 2 bag toppers. And I have these 2 shaker bag toppers. If you guys already follow me or have been watching my videos, you know how much I love making these bag toppers. I just love it. They're one of my favorite things to make. So I have bag toppers in those, in that middle one. And this one was super hard for me. You can tell because it even like has like a bow right here. It bows up. And this one was just crazy for me. I couldn't do it. And in this one, I made her a bunch of rosettes, and then I gifted her a couple or a few, 3 of Lori's flowers that I felt like went very well with the collection. So a bunch of rosettes and flowers in that one. I did a lot of firsts this time around, you guys. Like the stacked suitcases are a first. That book that I shared was a first. The little wardrobe was a first. The what is it? The typewriter was a first. There's so many firsts. And the next thing I created, I had this little box and it was so cute. It had pins in there, and the blue I felt like went really well with the whole collection. So I altered the front of the box, and inside the box, if I can open it, has an acetate already in it. And I made I made her some handmade by labels. And I love making these labels, you guys. I don't put them up for sale because, I don't know, I just don't. But I am open to selling them if you guys are interested. They are using my laser printer, so you get good quality images and really good quality cardstock with it. So these are the ones I'm gifting her. And then for my next project, using my same printer and paper, I cut out some of my favorite images from the ephemera pack. I know that's crazy, right? I'm gifting her some of my favorite when it should be some of hers. But I feel like she would appreciate and love the same ones I do. So I did this bow topper, which Lori gifted me, and I sewed across it here. I wanted to put ephemera, but it was way too long. So it just says ephem. And then I did put it here so she can just like reuse it, tear this apart, and then reuse it. And this first flap here is all the smaller ephemera pieces, and each of the little, you know, sections have sequins in it because it just makes it look so much cuter. So I have all the smaller pieces here, and then I have the medium pieces here, and then I have all the larger pieces here at the bottom. So it's almost like a little flip book. And there we go. And then the last thing that I created is another first for me, which is this clipboard. And everything is pretty much just clipped on. You take it off and everything comes off. So there's this little cluster I made here. Some spare embellishments, which is the bow, sewn heart, a bow here, and a shaker heart here. And then I also had some die cut, die cut bag toppers that were extra here. And I also made 2 little stamp shakers, which is another thing I'm currently obsessed with right now. Which, oh my gosh, I just love them. I love how these came out, and I'm going to make a lot more. And then I did these little sewn library pockets as well. So pretty much this is like a build your own embellishment type thing going on here. And that is pretty much everything that I created. I hope that you guys got some inspiration from any of this, and I hope it helps you and motivates you to use your stash, because I know a lot of us, we have all those cute stuff and we just hold on to it, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm gonna use my stash because I spent the money on it. It needs to be used. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great crafty day. Bye.